Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's book review. And today we're going to be talking about Successful Architecture Implementation, a practical guide on how to implement your EA or BPM program. Do you feel like your life is in chaos? Do you feel like you can't get your work organized and your processes aligned? Good, because I'm in the same boat. That's why I'm excited to share with you about Roland Woldt's book. Today's book review comes straight from the summer reading list, and it is a book I read before I founded Still Team Human, but I think it's very appropriate for this channel. As I said, it's called Successful Architecture Implementation, and it's a practical guide. It's exactly as it says. It doesn't pretend to be anything else, and now I can hear the feedback and the criticism ringing in my ears. Yes, this is not guilty pleasure reading or even obvious self-help that you might find yourself, pulling out of your beach bag while you're laying in the sand. It's more of an instructional manual, very professional, but it's the best kind of instructional manual. And the reason I added it to this summer reading list is that I always see the summer as a chance to reinvent myself. And this kind of guide allows you to do that. The fall is my clean slate, and I'm doing that with my own career, as you might have observed or guessed, if you've at all visited the channel Still Team Human in these last weeks. And Roland's advice gives enterprise architecture and business process management leaders a path forward. He offers the basics and then some. Roland makes the complex simple, and this happens if you listen to him talking as well. You can check out our podcast with him from earlier this summer. It's a really great one. I suggest you watch it. And JM, his co host on the What's Your Baseline podcast, who is also a friend of the channel and someone I had done events with previously at my other job and other life, he wrote the foreword, and he begins the book with two simple words. It depends. And that will probably speak to you in the same way that it did to me, especially as I'm reinventing myself, and you're probably doing the same. It depends on your situation, your processes, your organization. It depends on what's happening in the world, and it even depends on the team's personality as a whole and the personality of the individuals within that team. It depends, fits the bill in so many ways, and it really brought me into the book. It got me to pay attention and stay focused because I could relate to it so well. And then Roland provides step-by-step instructions on how to get started all the way through to process simulation and applying these concepts in the real world. His case for architecture at the beginning of the book shows that he realizes enterprise architecture might not be a sexy career. It might not be the dream many of us built for ourselves when we thought about what we were going to be when we grew up. But he explains the need for it, and it shows how people can really make a mark in the world and in business by carrying out this work. I recommend you read the book, check out Roland's podcast, and the other products that he offers on his website. He does not require subscription for these products, which is a very big differentiator. Believe me, this is a big deal in that world because most of them are requesting subscriptions, and I worked with many of these companies in my previous life. I have found ways to apply these concepts that Roland shares in the book and even through his products and the things he talked about in the podcast in my own work in writing, editing, reporting, and production. And I'm definitely working on it at least. As I said, this is a work in progress. It's all part of this summer's reinvention. And I hope you stick with me because I think in the fall things will become more consistent and more continuous because I'll be able to fulfill some of the suggestions that Roland shares. And I just think Roland is a great person with excellent values, and so he's a leader worth paying attention to. After all, it's a process, so stick with us. Read the book, let us know what you think, and I hope to hear from you soon. And another book review will be on its way. I'm on to the next. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye bye.